Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Michael Torphy.
I'm Reverend Valerie Torphy.
I'm Sheila Boston.
And I'm Greg Boston. We're the producers.
I'm Dr. Ernestine Garcia, and I'll be doing the readings today.
And I'm Paul Landsittel, spirituer, musician, and I will be performing the songs for today's real live service.
Nice to see you, Paul.
Thank you. Let's get started with an evocation. Would you?
So I just invite you to close your eyes and take a nice deep breath as we recognize that there is only one thing, one power, one presence, one life that is everywhere present all of the time, in, as, and through each one of us. And as this service, as it unfolds this day. And so I bless the service. I bless each one of us that it takes to get to put the service on. And then I bless everyone who's here with us in person today, and everyone who's online with us, and everyone who checks in later. So I just know that this day is a blessing, that each one of our lives is a blessing, and that we bless this time together, and we bless this service as it unfolds. And so I'm absolutely grateful, and let it be. And together we say, and so it is.
So it is.
Mm-hmm. Let's get started with some music, huh, Paul?
Woohoo!
Yeah. Well, as I was saying earlier, we're halfway through winter, between the winter solstice and the spring equinox, and it's getting lighter every day. Although right now at my house it's snowing, but we're not going to let that stop us. And also, 58 years ago, February 9th, 1964, is when the Beatles first came to America on the Ed Sullivan Show. So in honor of all that, I'm going to do Here Comes the Sun. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Little darling, the smiles are returning to their faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Sun, sun, here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Here, little darling, the ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Here comes the sun.
I love that, Paul.
Yeah, I like your additions too.
Yeah, me too.
It was great. Thank you. We'll be coming back to you shortly.
Okay.
So like us and check in on Facebook at CSL North Metro, and check out our website, cslnorthmetro.org. The links for our services are out there, the affirmations, the affirmative prayer, and all the things that we're doing are out there. You can also sign up to get our email so that you have the links and information that we're doing. And you can request prayer from our website, and we'll pray on your prayer requests all week. You already met our wonderful guest artist, Paul Landsittel, for the day. And today's reading is from Ayanla, Until Today by okay, now I'm having trouble with it. Ayanla Van Zandt. So February is dedicated to Black History Month, honoring the triumphs and struggles of African Americans throughout U.S. history. So what we decided to do about that is pick some of our favorite African American authors and maybe some new ones too, because I have some new books that I haven't read yet for our readings for the month. So
all the authors will be African American.
yeah, all of them. Did I not say that?
No, I'm just repeating it.
That's good.
It's good to hear things twice.
So
It's good to hear things twice. No.
The first author that we selected is Ayanla Van Zandt. She's an American inspirational speaker, lawyer, New Thought spiritual teacher, author, life coach, and television personality. She's known primarily for her books, her eponymous talk show, and her appearances on the Oprah Winfrey Show. She can currently be seen on television as the host of Ayanla Fix My Life on the Oprah Winfrey Network.
Eponymous means that she uses her name for the title of the show.
I
Just want to know.
just want to tell you a little story about Ayanla. We're in Chicago at one of the conferences, and she comes walking up the aisle, and she always looks just so amazingly beautiful. And she has these great big heels on. She steps up on the stage, takes her shoes off, puts them so we can see them, and says, "There, you saw my shoes. Now I'm going to be comfortable." This is a different book that I bought. This is called Peace from Broken Pieces by her. But so afterwards, I was talking to her about the shoes, and so this is her signature on my book from 2012 when we saw her. So I just, it's really fun when the authors that we have are people that we've met and know a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I'm going to stop talking and let Ernestine do the affirmations in the reading.
Okay. The affirmations for the week of February 6, 2022. And these are written by Stephen Anthony. Please repeat after me. I accept and express positive energy in my life always.
I accept and express positive energy in my life always.
My very existence makes a profound difference in the world.
My very existence makes a profound difference in my world.
I experience tranquility in my heart and in all situations.
I experience tranquility in my heart and in all situations.
I recognize my oneness with Spirit's presence as all life.
I recognize my oneness with Spirit's presence as all life.
I am expanding my awareness beyond the illusion of limitation.
I am expanding my awareness beyond the illusion of limitation.
I exist in alignment with God's joyful expression.
I exist in alignment with God's joyful expression.
And together we say,
And so it is. Yes.
And the reading, as Reverend Valerie talked about, is from Until Today by Ayanla Van Zandt. And I just want you to know that I am honored to be reading her work today. Mm-hmm. The law of first things is a mandate for all of our lives. This principle encourages us to acknowledge, accept, and embrace God first in all things that we do. First, inquire of God, then listen to God. When you hear God, respond. Then trust God to lead and guide you. If and when we do these things, the law of first things ensures that God will reward us 10 times over. When you breathe, that's God. When you move, that's God. When you think about where you need to be and what you need to do, that's God giving you the power to take the thought and translate it into action. When you speak, that's God. When you eat, it's God. For without God's love, God's mercy, and grace, nothing you consider important would be possible. The truth of the matter is, God is first. The law of first things simply asks that we acknowledge it. When you take your first breath in the morning, remember it's God who is making it possible. When you swing your feet over the side of the bed, acknowledge God for moving through you as the source of your life. Before you do one thing in the day for yourself or for anyone else, thank God for every ability, talent, gift, and opportunity that lies within you or before you. As you move through each day, keep God informed about what you are doing and ask that you be guided toward right thought and right action. And don't forget to invite God to participate in all of your activities. As your activities begin to bring you rewards, thank God first. If you make an earnest effort to follow the law of first things, you will never have to worry about being left out of God's good. And together we say, and so it is.
Beautiful reading.
That was beautiful.
Well done. Thank you. Well, it's time for another song.
Yay.
That means it's Paul Landsittel's time. There he is.
When I heard the title of today's service, What's Your Mind Telling You? I thought of this song, a song that I wrote a little while ago called Let It All Go. Feel free to dance in your living room. Voices in my mind, babbling unclear. I can't believe everything I hear. Show me where I can say a quiet prayer. Let the silence begin. Go within, go within. Let it all go. Empty my head. Let it all go into a black hole. Let it all go. Bless the stress. Let it all go. Take a deep breath. Search my heart. Someone's moving in the dark. Oh, who can it be if not me? Shadow boxing with my evil twin, and I take it on the chin. Go within, go within. Let it all go. Learn to be still. Let it all go by my own free will. Let it all go inward bound. Open the door to higher ground. La da la da la 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 da 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 da. Making peace is tension and release. Tame the beast. I go within, go within. Let it all go and rise above. Let it all go back into love. Let it all go. Learn to be still. Let it all go by my own free will. Let it all go inward bound. Open the door to higher ground. La 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 la. Let it all go. Empty my head. Let it all go into a black hole. Let it all go. Bless the stress. Let it all go. Take a deep breath. Ah.
That was great.
Awesome,
Thank you
awesome.
so much.
I don't think we have anything to say after that. You said it all. Yeah. And you wrote it.
Yeah, I did.
There you go. The talent of Paul Landsittel. We thank you.
Yes,
And we'll be seeing more of you after we say what we have to say.
that's right.
So see ya.
Very well.
Ah. Good to be alive, huh?
It is.
Alive, awake, aware, who and what we are, what we have to offer.
And the sun shining.
Sun shining is, yeah, it's snowing up there and it's shining down here. That's why we live down here. It's been a great week. I've been thinking about this title and probably overthinking it because it's about what the mind tells us. And the mind is constantly telling us all kinds of things. I mean, it never stops. It's just ongoing 24 hours. Even in our sleep, it's telling us something. I had a weird dream last night. Can't remember what it was, but I woke up thinking, why did I dream that? I don't want to dream that. It wasn't fun. But if you're like me, you're amazed at how much the mind can keep telling you constantly. And where we get in trouble is when we listen to it, because we don't have to listen to the chatter up there. It's the committee trying to convince us of something about ourselves that doesn't exist.
That's right.
And it's always making things up. But somewhere along the line, we accept it and it causes what the mind is saying to come true in our reality, in our experience. So we want to let that all go.
Can I just help?
Yeah,
So
jump in there, honey.
I can remember when you first started talking about how you live with the title all week. It's like, so yesterday a thing happened and it was not a very big thing. It was no big deal. It was nothing. But in the middle of the night, it became a big deal. And I still knew it was no big deal. I'm like, I need to get to sleep now. So stop this. And it was like, da, 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 da. And it's like, this is not true. I know it's not true. And even if it is true, it really doesn't matter. The thing's over and done. It was insignificant. It's nothing. And then I'd wake up pretty soon again and da, 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 da. It's like, so what I want to say about that is we do the spiritual work and we learn the tools and we learn the stuff, and the mind still chatters and we still have stuff going on and we still get to practice it all the time. It's not something like, oh, and now I'm a minister and that doesn't happen to me anymore, because that's not it. It's because, I think it's because we get to live the title before we talk about it. So it's like, well, isn't this a nice experience? And I'm ready to let it go now.
And so letting spirit, let's put it this way, when you have these thoughts, there's a reason for why they're coming up. There's a reason for why you're buying into it. And that reason is usually false. So what we can do is turn within and listen to the still small voice within ourselves and ask to interpret why these, not why, but how these thoughts may be bringing something that you need to know about yourself. So if you're getting thoughts of why me, which is a horrible question to ask, because the more you ask why me, the more it'll give you more of the same old thing. It'll show you why you. But the mind, or you as a being, have three choices. You can buy into it, you can reframe it, or you can just out and out deny it. Mm-hmm. Now, if you buy into it, what you're doing is you're giving your power over to that nothing that's trying to become something. Mm-hmm. You're giving yourself to it. So you're losing your power, because in essence, we all have power over our own minds.
We do.
We have control of it. But when something happens to you that causes worry, causes hurt, causes pain, it can be overwhelming, and we can forget who we are. These divine children of God, powerful, made in God's likeness and image, perfect, whole, and complete. We forget that. So, but we can always return to it. And what it takes is, the first step is being aware that these thoughts are happening, because they're automatic. They just come and go as they please. And most of the time we listen to it, and it causes us to get upset or feel bad about ourselves or whatever. But you have a choice. You can reframe it. You can call it what it is. So if something's coming through me that's challenging me in a way that makes me feel that I'm not enough, then I can instantly say, this is false. I don't accept it. I am more than enough. I am perfect in the eyes of God. So I live from that purview. Get thee out of my head. Get thee behind me, bad thoughts. I don't accept you. And that takes practice, because it's not always easy, because when you think you got it down and you're practicing it and you don't have a worry in the world, then along comes another thought that you weren't expecting, and it can take your attention like that. But again, who is the boss of me? I am the boss of me. You are the boss of you. So we get to take action by speaking the word that we wanted to speak. And again, those thoughts that are going around your head, they're trying to show you something within you that has been buried there for a long time, that just accepts whatever is told to you. You may have been told as a child that you're not smart, or that you're too fat, or that you're whatever, and something within you, because there was a parent or somebody who was close to you told you that, automatically something just accepts it.
Like, you're responsible for your siblings.
It sounds personal.
It does. And it's interesting that you bring that up, because it's like I can recognize that was what was said, and that wasn't true. That, well, it kind of was, but we can recognize that we have choice over how we handle that old programming. And so I did recognize that was old programming last night that was triggering me. And I can go through and say, and I can do that. And I did do that. And it's just really interesting how sometimes, like, I go back to sleep and then it come back up. It's like, I thought I put you to bed. Let's quit it now. We know that this is nothing. It never was anything. It's never going to be anything. And so that's the work.
Yes, always. And the most meaningful thing that we can do in the beginning is just be aware of these thoughts. Listen to them. Don't do what they're telling you. Don't accept what they're telling you, but just listen to them. Because when you're aware that these thoughts are happening automatically, then you can take the next step by Emerson said, stand guard at the portal of your mind. So you can stand guard at the portal of your mind, because you're aware that these thoughts are happening now, and you're aware that they're automatic, right, and you're aware that they really have nothing to do with you. They're just things that have been stuffed down inside you for so long, and you're waiting to free them. Mm-hmm. When you free yourself from thoughts, then you step into this thing I call inspiration. Mm-hmm. Because the baby, when you look at a baby, it's just pure. It has none of this stuff that has yet to be fed into it. It comes here with absolute perfection, love, and beauty. And we get to see that. That same thing that you see in that baby, you can see in yourself because you deserve it. Just look in the mirror and say, I love you, and see what it feels like. You ever tried that exercise? Look in the mirror and say, I love you. And a lot of times, depending on where you're at, what's happened to you during that day, it may be hard to say that because you may not believe it. But it's showing you something. It's telling you that reaction that you have to saying, I love you, is telling you there's something that needs to be healed.
Right.
Because you deserve all the love that God has to give. And God has a lot to give, always.
Yes.
I want to read this. I had this formula that I came up with some time ago, many, many moons ago. I may not have been a minister yet, but it came to me and I thought, oh, sure. And it's a formula, E plus T equals I. Eliminate plus transform equals inspire.
Mm-hmm.
Eliminate plus transform equals inspire. Eliminate all the thoughts that don't take you to your highest place within you and within your life. Eliminate that and contribute your thoughts to the higher good, which will automatically transform you. Is that clear?
Say it again.
So when you stand guard at the portal of your mind, and these thoughts are trying to get into your experience of being the thought, of accepting the thought, then you can use your power of your word, and you have a powerful word because it's the word of God speaking, and eliminate that thought to say, get thee behind me, and don't allow it to have any power over you. And when you can do that, in the moment, you've transformed the energy that you were having, and it wasn't pleasant energy, into something more powerful, something more inspiring. And inspiration always comes out of the freeing of the mind, the opening to God's greatest ideas for you, transforming the unpleasant into the, yeehaw, this is great. And you're ready for life. Are you ready for life?
Yes.
Ready.
Yes.
Are you ready for life?
Yeehaw.
Is life ready for you? Yes, it is. I know that. You know that. And I'm throwing my papers all over the place. I want another quote I want to read. Thank you, Valerie. Do not allow anyone to walk through your mind with their dirty feet.
I love that.
You know who said that? Gandhi. Do not allow anyone to walk through your mind with their dirty feet. Not only do we have to be on guard with our own thoughts, we got to be on guard with those people we're hanging out with, who may have you in this place. I can remember before I came into this teaching that I would do anything to make people like me, and that would be allowing them to say things that are unpleasant. I talked last week about the guy in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I talked about this young man who was in the bank, and they were talking bad things about gay people and making jokes, and he was gay and nobody knew it, and it just hurt his soul deeply, and he was unguarded. He wasn't at the portal guarding it. He was allowing it to go through and to hurt him. Well, the moment he understood that we have power over our mind, we have power over those that may want to hurt us and think of us in ways that aren't true. So we can take action. We can say, this does not exist in my life anymore. I don't accept it. I won't allow it. I send it back to the nothingness from which it came and know that I'm free. I am that perfect child of God that I was created to be, here and now, always and forever. Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, so part of where this comes from, these thoughts, we have 3 parts of our brain. We have that old part that developed first that they call like the fight or flight part, which was back in the days when it really was dangerous. And so that part of the brain's still there. And then another brain developed that was a little more developed, and then the frontal part developed, but they're all still there and they're all still functioning, and they work together and they don't work together. So when those things come up, that's that old part of the brain that's trying to keep you alive. And most of us aren't in a situation most of the time where we need that brain to keep us alive. And so it's still doing its thing where it's telling us what's scary and what we should be worried about and so if we just remember, that's my old brain, it's part of what goes on. I don't have to accept that. I know I'm safe. I know I'm okay. And so it's when we begin to realize that we're more than that, that yes, we have a brain, but we're spiritual beings with a body. And the spiritual part of us always, always, always knows we're connected to God and that we're okay and that we're always going to be okay. And so when we can remind ourselves that yes, this is the thing my brain's trying to do, and I don't have to believe it, and I don't have to go there, and I'm okay.
I'm okay.
So
You're okay.
So this is what Joseph Chilton Pierce has to say about it in the book called Biology of Transcendence. Faith and belief are poles apart. Belief is intellectual and from the head. Faith comes, I can only surmise, from the heart, or perhaps that chi, that center of will in our being. So we have more than that one thing going on. And so our highest self is always okay. Even if our body's not okay, that spirit part of us, that higher self, is always okay and always one with God and always working for its highest and best good for our growth as we make this journey through our humanhood.
That's quite a journey, let me tell you.
It is quite a journey. So, and then Jan Levanzant says, everything we do in life is experienced by our entire being. That means mind, body, and spirit. What you know on all 3 levels. What you desire, you must desire on all 3 levels. When you're trying to accomplish a task, all 3 levels of your being must be in harmony. When they are not, one of your or more of your inner aspects of your inner being will be fighting or working against you. And so when we begin to get that we're here as spiritual beings, we're absolutely always whole, perfect, and complete all of the time. We're absolutely God's beloved all of the time, regardless of things that we might have done that we feel ashamed of, or we're told we're wrong, or any of those things. We're still absolutely God's beloved, and nothing that happens to us on this planet hurt or harms that spiritual being that is more than our body. We kind of shrink it down to fit in the body, but we're still more than that. Like a lot more. Sorry, got busy hands.
Right.
You're dodging them.
Oh, there's another one. Where'd that come from?
Right here.
So it's important to, one, wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Those thoughts that are going through your mind aren't real. They have no power over you.
That's right.
They're untrue. They come from the history that has darkened parts of your being, but the soul is the eternal sunshine.
Right.
And all we got to do is say, here comes the sun.
Here comes the sun.
Here comes my son. And begin to light up right where you're at. You can turn the light on just by closing your eyes and telling yourself, I love you. I am a child of God. I'm made in God's likeness and image. I'm an eternal light. I am self-aware, intelligent light energy. This is who I am. I don't accept anything less than this. This is who I am. I am what thou art. Thou art what I am.
That's right.
So not only when I start seeing it in myself, I can see it in anyone that comes into my life, be it happy people or be it sad people, be it angry people or be it joyful people. I can see that light within them because I know, because it's the light within me that's seeing the light within them. And it all starts with not accepting what your mind tells you,
Mm-hmm.
because you're more than that. And it's knowing who you are and what you are here for. You're here to reveal the presence of God, uniquely expressing as you, as that perfect you. And know that it can be easily stepped into in any moment, under any condition, under any situation. You can just step into that wholeness, that allness, that isness, that beauty of life that is you. And you are beautiful. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. Don't let your committee that's in your head tell you anything different. Stand at that portal and guard it, knowing that when you're in guard, nothing can come through, that you are the power and the presence that was created for this purpose, for this time.
Yes.
You got anything you want to say?
Well, here's another quote by Aganla. When you shift what you think, you change how you feel and what you believe.
And shift is always happening.
And shift is always happening. So that's the work. It's recognizing that, the stuff is going through my head, and I don't have to believe it. I can recognize the truth about myself. I can understand that I am having this experience, and I can rise above this particular thing that might be happening right now, and recognize that the truth of my being is that I am one with that power and that presence. I am a spiritual being. I am whole, perfect, and complete all of the time. And that's absolutely the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not only the truth about me, it's the truth about every single person everywhere. And so every time we decide we need to know what's best for someone else, we get to remember, and as the oldest sister, I get to remember it a lot more, that each one of us has our own spiritual path and our own spiritual being, and we all know what's right for ourselves. And so just inviting us each to feel that light that is within ourselves, and just see that light that we're absolutely shining and we're powerful and we're present. I know Michael Beckwith says the thing about when we are in the dark, we don't try to get rid of the dark, we turn the light on. And so what I'm inviting you to do is turn that light on, that's the essence of your being, and just be that powerful, wonderful, amazing self that you are, that we all are, that each one of us is.
Yeah, because we all want to see you.
Yes.
We want to see the you
Yes.
that God sees.
Yes. So let that light shine.
Shine until forever.
Yes.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Should we pray?
We should.
Okay, close your eyes.
Are you starting, Ramon?
Okay,
You?
yeah.
Thank you.
And so allow your attention to move inward by letting go of all the cares and concerns that may be in your life right now. And just being in this present moment fully, to the fullness of yourself. And as we do this as a community, be it here in this living room or those watching through their computer, know that there is only one. One. Mm-hmm. The infinite and eternal life of pure spirit. And that spirit, God, is perfect, whole, complete, and is everywhere present. It is present in the smallest grain of sand to the largest star in the universe. It is present in every living thing on this planet. The plant people, the reptile people, the flying people, the two-legged people, four-legged people. Every single thing on this planet is the spirit of the living God. And knowing that God is everywhere present, I know it is present right here, right now, as my life, as Reverend Valerie's life, as those who are in this room and those who are watching. Indeed, as all life in the universe, one God, one life. And so I declare for this day, for each individual who is in the realm of my voice, that right where you are, this perfection is. Mm-hmm. I call it forth. I call it forth in any situation you may be going through right now. Right there, God is in its fullness. And if it's something unpleasant, it disappears right here and right now. We send it back into the nothingness from which it comes. Yes. And I know for all those that may be feeling sad or suffering from something or feeling lack or limitation, I call upon that light that dwells within you to just let it go. It is nothing. It is done. It is gone. It does not exist. And you're moved into something greater than you've ever experienced before in your life. You are moved into the wholeness and the allness of life that dwells within you. And as you know the truth about yourself, you carry it forth into the world. And people start changing just because you walked into their experience. So I bless each person that is gathered with us today and all those that may be watching on later through recording. I bless you. I send out light and love, knowing nothing but good, prosperity, abundance, beauty, peace, harmony, creativity, inspiration, all this and so much more. All that God is, you are right here and right now. And I pass this to Valerie.
Thank you. So just recognizing the truth of our being, that oneness, that allness, that isness, that all-powerful being is within each one of us all of the time, is absolutely wholly present as and through and at each one of us. So I know that power and that presence is expanding and becoming more, each of us is becoming more and more and more aware of that inner light, that inner love, that inner peace, that inner truth, and that inner oneness that is each and every one of us. And so in absolute gratitude for knowing this word is done. It's absolutely done and complete in the mind of God, and it is manifesting into form right here and right now. And so knowing that is the truth, I know there's nothing more for me to do. So I simply release this word. I let it go into the spirit of love and into the action of the law, because that's how it works. And so I'm so, so, so grateful that this word is already complete in the mind of God and that it is released. And together, as we release it, we say, and so it is. Amen, Ashe, Aho, Amen, and woo-hoo.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Ooh, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. Brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. Ooh, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one.
Yeah. I was watching some of the Olympics and the opening ceremony. They did that song in China. It was like, wow. It just hit me in a different way. It's like, maybe there's a possibility that we can imagine all those things to be true, that the world, we can all live as one. Wouldn't that be great? Thank you, Paul.
Certainly.
We'll see you in a little bit. We got some business to take care of. And that's it. See you. So I'm reminded of a time in my life where I was hearing this thing called tithe, and there was a battle within me to not accept it. And my minister at the time, just when he would talk about this thing of giving, said it in a special way that all my doubts and all my fears and all my things that I think turned out to not be true. Mm-hmm. That there is this universal law that when you give, it comes back multiplied. And it's true for anybody. So I stepped out in faith, and I was at a very bad, challenging time of my life. I was going through a divorce. I was in debt to my credit cards up to, you know what? I had this lawyer that was charging me all kinds of money, and I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. And then I heard my minister say, just give and it'll come back to you. And I thought, well, this is a good time to give. This time when I don't think I have anything to give, I'm going to give to see if this law really worked. And for me, it worked. So I invite you to look into your heart and see if you're ready to be part of this amazing thing we called Centers for Spiritual Living, and be part of our local center and give and see what happens in your life. Because I know what works for me can work for all.
Well, I remember when I first started tithing too, and I was in the same situation. It's like, well, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills, but this teaching is really feeding me, and so I do need to start that. And I always had enough, and I still do. So anyway, so you can go to our website, cslnorthmetro.org, and there are a couple of ways to give out there. There's PayPal, and there's another way. There's also instructions about texting to give out there. And we take checks too. Our address also is on the website. So
there's a little Venmo.
Oh yeah, Venmo. So if you use Venmo, you can just use the little QR code. That's a really easy way. I discovered how to do that.
I'm still working on it.
Yeah. So
Discovery.
it all works. Anyway,
so wherever you're at, shine your light towards us in this basket, and just see this basket as a representative of all the good that's in the universe. And repeat after me. Thank you, dear Spirit.
thank you, dear Spirit.
Thank you for this opportunity to give.
Thank you for this opportunity to give.
I give freely from the love in my heart,
I give freely from the love in my heart,
knowing it goes out and touches many lives
knowing it goes out and touches many lives
and comes back multiplied.
and comes back multiplied.
For this and so much more,
For this and so much more,
I say thank you.
I say thank you.
I let it be,
I let it be.
and so it
And
is.
so it is.
I started out tithing because my minister said, well, you don't have to give 10% right off the bat. You can start out. So I started out with 2%. And then I worked up to 5%. And it went really quick. Then all of a sudden I was like, what am I doing? I want to step into this and see if it really works. And it's been 10% ever since. And we have a pretty good life.
We do. We always have enough.
We always have it. We have more than enough.
We do have more than enough.
And here comes Paul speaking more than enough. More.
The presence is always with us. It's just our awareness that seems to block it. The song is called He Walks Among Us. He walks among us, unseen, unheard, speaks so softly, without a word, whisper in the wind, stay close and listen in. For the one we are seeking is also seeking us. He walks among us, hiding in plain sight, cast no shadow in the morning light. Sunrise through the trees, look close and we can see. For the one we are seeking is also seeking us. walks among us, the silent sense of wonder breaks the spell we've been under. She's ringing in our ears. We listen close so we can hear. For the one we are seeking is also seeking us. Also seeking us.
So, new song, huh?
Yeah, relatively new song. I'm working on a new CD of these songs. I've been singing at the services here, and they're going to be out sometime this year.
Nice.
Well, we love you and we applaud your consciousness that you bring to our services
Absolutely.
on the Sundays that you serve. And we're so appreciative of you, Paul.
It's a privilege.
Yeah.
And the combination of the reverends and the music was just what I needed to hear today. Thank you both. Thank you three all very much.
Thank you.
So, where are we at?
So join us on Zoom right after the service and share your aha moments. The link is in the comments, correct?
Right.
And if you don't see it there, or if you happen to be on YouTube, it's also on our website. So it's in the calendar page on the website under today's service, and that the Zoom link's always there as well. We just really love to get to know you a little bit. So join us on Zoom.
Yeah, if you've been putting off whether you should do it or you shouldn't do it, today's the day.
Yeah.
Do it right now.
Yeah.
Join us. We're gonna have a ball, and we really want to get to know you, as Reverend Valerie said.
Yeah.
And I guess that's it.
You guys have something to add?
Yep. Great service.
Yeah,
Great
great
music.
service. I'm gonna
Thank.
bring the
Great
awareness
company.
of my
Here.
thoughts so that I can dispel them
Yes.
and replace them with inspiration and creativity.
Yes.
absolutely.
And we thank the two new individuals who have joined us today here live at our center. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you, and we know that you're the perfection of God being revealed to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you for welcoming us.
Our pleasure. So,
You just pray out.
so close your eyes once again and join me in that one perfect place where God dwells. And we simply give thanks. So grateful for this day and all it still has to give to us. So grateful for the company that we've shared with this day. So grateful for the Center for Spiritual Living and all its centers all over the world, but especially ours. So grateful for all those friends and family members and even those that challenge us. I'm so grateful for life and grateful for this day. And in this place of deep, deep gratitude, I let go. I allow the goodness of God to flow through my life
Yes.
and everybody else's life. And together we say, and so
it
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 is.
is.
Have a great week.
Yeah, join us on Zoom.
Yeah.
Hope to see you on Zoom.
Yes.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.